Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls? Your boy Dread is back. It's that time of year again. It is December 22nd, 2016, and it's time for me to count down what I thought were the biggest epic fails of 2016. Everything negative that happened this year in sports, movies, music, pop culture, and otherwise. But first off, it was a hell of a year. A lot of ups and mainly a lot of downs too. But first off, rest in peace to all the lost ones. Rest in peace to Prince, David Bowie, Kimbo Slice, the wrestler China, Muhammad Ali, and many more that we lost this year. And especially in your personal life, if you lost someone this year, and I know a lot of people who lost somebody in their family personally. But anyway, yeah, let's get right over to the comedy. The biggest epic fails. Who took the biggest losses and who failed the most? Let's start with the obvious one first. The United States of America as a whole. We elected Donald J. Trump as our 45th president. An eccentric, prejudiced, bigoted billionaire. This guy is going to be our next president of the United States of America. And the sad part of it is that we allowed it to happen. We the American people, we allowed this charade to go on for way longer than it should have, instead of just nipping it in the bud. And I know a lot of y'all going to say, well, Hillary Clinton is going to be no better. And the reason why I didn't vote was because I didn't want to vote for the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils is still evil. And I'm not gonna, get into a whole political debate because that's a whole other video entirely. But I think the people who didn't vote are just as much at fault. They're like, well, both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump both sucked, so I didn't vote at all. You didn't vote at all? No. Well, then you're part of the problem. Like I said, the lesser of two evils is still evil, but I'd rather have the lesser evil. But yeah, we're stuck with Donald Trump for the next 4 years, and like I said, this guy is a xenophobic bigot, and we're stuck with him for the next 4 years. So to quote DJ Khaled, congratulations, America. You just played yourself. Epic fail. Next on my list is the United States justice system, which pretty much has the least amount of justice in the entire world. We like to preach about how fair we are and about how this is the land of the free, and we like to give everybody a fair chance. But how much of a fair chance can you give somebody when 17 unarmed black men and women have been shot and killed this year? And those are just the ones that we know of. So let me get this straight. The police officers of America are shooting unarmed black men and women point blank, no questions asked. They're shooting first, asking questions later. But yet, we give Dylan Roof a chance to stand trial, and it takes 18 months to indict him after he admitted to the crime. Yeah, sounds like a fair justice system in America. So yes, for the U.S. justice system, or the U.S. injustice system as I like to call it, epic fail. Next one I want to talk about, Cam Newton. Cam Newton pretty much had the year of his life in 2015 in the NFL. And this year he took a complete 180. Come on, his team has an under 500 record, well, at least at this point. But yes, last year, he was the league MVP. And this year, he completely fell off. And the thing is, it hurts me to say this because I like Cam Newton, I'm a fan of his, and we know just how talented that he is and how good of a player that he can be. He's probably the most athletic, most well-rounded athletic quarterback that we've seen in a while. But it just sucks that, he had to take this big of a plunge. But hopefully he does get it together and we'll see him next season. And I can't particularly say that I'm fond of his fashion choices either. The next biggest epic fail on my list, and you guys knew this one was coming, the 2015-2016 Golden State Warriors. Do I even need to say it? They had the year of their life. 73 wins, 9 losses, the greatest regular season record in NBA history, and they were up 3-1. 3-1 against the underdog Cleveland Cavaliers, and they let them come back and beat them in the NBA Finals. Now, I'm going to say that Game 5 should have been the nail in the coffin for that series. But there's a whole bunch of outside bullshit that happened, like that suspension that happened with Draymond Green. I don't know why that shit happened anyway. Why? Him and LeBron James were getting into it a lot on the court that day. But the game before. But I don't know why you would suspend Draymond Green and not suspend LeBron James. So the NFL gets an epic fail. But the NBA, they get an epic fail for that one. But yes, when you have 5 of the best players, in the world on your team and you're up 3-1 and you blow the series, I'm sorry, it really ain't no coming back from that. And not drafting, but getting Kevin Durant in a trade isn't going to fix it either. So, I like y'all. I got nothing but love for the Golden State Warriors, but I'm sorry, guys. Epic fail. The next biggest epic failure on my list, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna. This one also needs no real explanation. And I mean, come on, just look at the media just in the past 5 years alone. I mean, everybody knows that when you deal with somebody with the name Kardashian, everybody who's, associated with that entire Kardashian Jenner clan is fucking cursed down to the bone. And yes, Rob Kardashian thought that he could break the curse by dealing with Blac Chyna. Nope, sorry, buddy. And do I even need to say it about Blac Chyna? Blac Chyna is just another, video vixen that got famous off of, social media. She could thank us for that. And Rob Kardashian, while I feel sorry for him, he fell victim to what I like to call the white knight curse. He sees a female who's been dragged through the mud by a whole bunch of ain't shit niggas, and he thinks that he can play Captain Save-A-Ho and try to make her life better by making an honest woman out of her and wifing her up and getting her pregnant. That added insult to injury. But if I've learned anything from this, I learned two things from this, and this is pretty much the cardinal rule that everybody should know by now. I learned two things. First thing I learned is he made the biggest mistake by trying to turn a hoe into a housewife. And the second biggest thing I learned is that no matter how a relationship ends, according to social media, the man is always the bad guy and the woman is always the victim. Don't believe me? You don't have to take my word for it. Just look at social media. But yeah, Rob Chyna, epic fail. And last but not least, and this one also pains me to say this, but we, the hip-hop community, we collectively take an L for this year. Come on. 21 Savage, Designer, Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi, Kodak Black. I heard the 2016 Freshman XXL magazine freestyle. You sit here and listen to it and lose brain cells. Your IQ drops 5 points for every second you listen to it. And the more you listen to it, the more you're like, who the fuck gives these niggas record deals? Now, everybody knows that I'm a hip-hop head, and regardless of whether a rapper sucks or not, regardless of whether I think a rapper sucks or not, I at least give them a chance to listen to their music, before I make my judgment of whether they're whack or not. But come on, literally anybody can, be signed, to a record label these days. And, rappers don't even really have to try it nowadays. And rappers are getting more and more feminine. And speaking of which, and I was going to talk about this in a whole nother video, isn't it sad that Young M.A. is probably the manliest rapper out of this whole freshman class, and she's a female? Well, a lesbian female, but she's still a female nonetheless. And also, in regards to hip-hop and rap turning feminine, my God. Look no further than this. Young Jock for looking like someone's 40-year-old divorced lesbian aunt who's a strong single black woman and don't need no man. And Young Thug for looking like a transgender Raiden from Mortal Kombat. And yes, the hip-hop community, epic fail. I'm sorry, we all gotta share this L for letting this shit go on and allowing this shit to happen, for longer than it's supposed to. But anyway, guys, that'll do it for the biggest epic fails and the biggest L's of 2016. Which ones were your favorite? Who you think took the biggest L? And also leave it in the comments of any one that I left out. Anyway, I'm out, guys. Thank you guys for listening. I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.